Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé. Let's watch the show.
Young, hot girl seems way overly focused on him. I've kind of had him to myself all this time. And now, on top of everything, I notice that I'm the only one at the table my age group. And I understand I signed up for this. But in reality, it makes me uncomfortable.
All right, it's interesting. I didn't expect Rebecca to feel this way, but this is how she's feeling. I guess it makes sense. She is suddenly realizing, I am by far the oldest person at this table. My fiancé is of the age of my daughter and her friends, and this other woman who is more his age, they seem to be getting along, kind of, and now I'm getting a little jealous. I don't know. She didn't say that. That seemed to be the indication. Let's see how she manages this now.
So possibly while I'm working, he can get all the stuff out of the storage unit and move it into the apartment.
My family has lots of trucks, so if you need like a truck bed, I'd love to help.
Yeah? I got a good, yeah.
That's so nice, Hannah. Thanks.
Okay, so at this point, Zied, I think, is thinking, I'm here to make friends. I'm here to try to reassure everyone that I'm a good guy and I need to be open to things so that I make a good impression, and he's doing a really good job with that. He probably does not intuit that Rebecca is getting jealous of this other woman. It's interesting that Rebecca is getting as jealous as she is, and then she just gave Zied the stink eye, seemingly, I think trying to communicate, I don't want you hanging out with that woman, which is kind of interesting, right? Like that Rebecca would be that threatened, or that she would think that Zied would leave her so quickly just for meeting another woman in the United States. At least that's what I think is happening right now. Let's see what she says.
You gonna let her help you move?
What?
You're gonna let her help you move?
Who?
She is offering to help you move the furniture.
Yikes. So it'd be one thing to pull him aside, which would still be interesting, right? Considering that there's no threat here. Do you distrust Zied that much? Do you distrust this other woman that much? Anyway, it's fine. She can have those feelings. All of us do. Many of us will have jealous feelings. How do we modify it? How do we communicate it? A more functional way to do this would be to let the evening go and just try to deal with it in the moment. Then on the way home, just say, hey, honey, I just want to say, when you were talking with that other woman, my jealousy traumas were getting triggered. You didn't do anything wrong, but I just was getting a little tense, and I had some paranoias about you and her running off together because you're the same age, and I was starting to feel inadequate, and I felt kind of weird because I was a lot older than everyone else, and there's a lot of things with women and age that I've internalized from society, and so there's nothing that you did, but I just want you to know that I was getting real tense, and I just wanted you to know that. And then Zied could say, oh, honey, thanks for saying that, and thanks for not accusing me, and let me reassure you that I am in love with you, and I want to be with you so much. And I do not want to be with that other woman. I just thought you wanted me to be nice. If you don't want me to hang out with her, I will not hang out with her. I don't care. So that would be a conversation that would be healthy, to basically do it in public and say to him, you are going to let her help you move, as if he has already, committed some crime, is a little bit of a yikes.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, no, you don't need it?
No,
that's
thank
fine.
you.
I mean, she was just being nice about it.
It's not exactly in his culture to have a single woman over at his apartment.
She's just offering to help.
So it is interesting that we're seeing that dynamic between Rebecca and her daughter, that the daughter treats the mom more like a friend or a sister, or maybe even a younger sister, maybe even a child. It's a dynamic that Rebecca might have engineered from a very young age for her daughter, that her daughter, I don't know this, it's complete speculation, that the daughter has frequently been parentified and over-functioning for the mom. We saw that when Rebecca talked about her last marriage and how the daughter was there for her, took her into her house. The daughter talked about remember how much I had to pick up the pieces of what fell apart last time? And if you just heard what the conversation was, you would think it would be an older sister or maybe even a mom talking to a daughter, but in fact, it was a daughter talking to a mom. And in a situation like that, you create this scenario where the younger person, the daughter, feels like they're supposed to care for you. They're supposed to chastise you, one, because that's their role. And two, they might have a lot of anger about the fact that they had to grow up faster, the fact that they had to take care of their own parent. A lot of parentified children will have just this vast sea of emotion of anger underneath it all, because it's like, you took away my childhood. You were supposed to be the adult. You made me be the adult. Why did you do that to me? How come you didn't step up and get your crap together so that I didn't have to step in and help you all the time? And that anger can manifest in kind of an angry approach of helping the other person, which the daughter seems to kind of have. On the other hand, the daughter is completely in the right. Just be like, Mom, why are you getting insecure? This woman's just trying to help. If you didn't want her to help, you don't have to act like this huge deal just happened right now. So it's a tough situation. I didn't know Rebecca had this insecurity and this sensitivity. I hope that her and Zied can talk about it afterwards.
I'm not trying to step on any toes here. I just seems like you guys could use maybe another set of wheels.
I appreciate that. That was interesting.
What?
That was interesting.
What do you mean?
Do you understand that you're in America now, okay? Women are not the same here as they are in your country.
What is happening, Rebecca? What are you saying? Well, now you're talking down to him like he did something terrible. All he did was to be nice and to, accept the offer of help. It wasn't automatic that he was going to get help from her, but he was just being nice. Oh, that's nice of you to offer. And now he's being chastised by her. I hope Rebecca can pump the brakes here a little bit and say, okay, wait a second. I think I'm real amped up right now because why am I really amped up right now? Well, I'm really amped up because when I saw you and her talking to each other, I'm guessing for Rebecca, and she talked about this a little bit just recently, I don't know if I showed that clip, where she became very aware of the fact that she was old. She's younger than me, by the way, so if she's old, then I'm super old, and I guess I am, and I'm okay with it. But for Rebecca, it seems like maybe she has a little bit of traumas around being labeled as rejectable, and a lot of women do. A lot of women have internalized these notions in society that once you cross a certain threshold in terms of age, you're now completely forgotten and you're completely expendable and no one wants to be with you anymore. So she could slow down and she could say, okay, right now I'm having all those feelings right now. This has nothing to do with you, I'm pretty sure. I feel like it has to do with you, but I don't think it actually has to do with you. This is that differentiation that I talk about sometimes. The ability to differentiate between our knee-jerk reaction, our emotional reactivity that's kicking in the moment, and our ability to think through our feelings. The ability to be like, well, I feel like this is all your fault. I feel like you just did something terribly wrong. But if I think about it, all you did was politely accept help from another person. And nothing actually happened. And I don't have any reason to believe that you and her would cheat with each other. So I have this feeling, but I have this thought, okay, I must be having a reaction, some kind of trauma, some kind of thing here. And so that the ability to think straight in the moment, and none of us have a complete ability to do that. All of us will make mistakes in this. Murray Bowen, he came up with the idea of differentiation 70 years ago. He said that the highest you could possibly be is 60% out of 100 on the differentiation scale. So he had a pretty low expectation of the highest possible differentiation level that any of us could have. But anyway, so for Rebecca, she is in this moment, so she could say, okay, I feel this way. I guess what's happening right now is I feel like I'm insecure about your love for me. And so could you just reassure me once again that you love me and that you don't care that I'm older than you or something like that? Let's see what she does.
She asked me and I answered her.
Now, from Zied's side, and I work with a lot of couples along these lines, it's mostly Rebecca's responsibility to investigate her own feelings because she's the one that's basically starting this conflict. But Zied could also think about it too and go like, okay, what's going on? I feel like I'm being attacked or something. What's happening right now? Let me think about this. She seems to be accusing me. Is she jealous? Does she feel like that was a threat? And maybe I need, okay, so I think, honey, do you feel like me and her were going to run off together, or that there was a thing between me and that woman? Is that what you think? And then Rebecca would say, well, I don't know, maybe. And then Zia would say, no, honey, believe me. There's nothing. You are the only one for me. There's no way. I don't want to be with anyone else. Just get that out of your head. And so that would be another possible road to recovery. All right, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself and take care of others because we all deserve it. We really, really do.